You know, it's been since 7:20, the last time I actually showed you guys a pickup video. And unfortunately, the presser will be canceled for this evening. Got other obligations. But you know what? I got a couple of minutes to hang out with you guys and show you some books. And before I get checked out of here, well, we're going to have a good little morning. Yeah, that's right. Tylox the Mighty, the early morning Maximus. That is correct. I'm here with my cup of coffee and my dog in my ear. It's already 11:52 a.m. on the East Coast. But it's good to have you all with me this morning. Let's get this thing rolling. So this is, again, the Raw Report Morning Maximus edition. I thank you guys for joining me here in this wondrous occasion. And this is going to be a simple show. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to share the video if you're watching it live right now and you're like, holy shit, Ultra's live. You can also leave me a comment below. Subscribe to the video. Click the notification bell for notifications. Ultra Box is the giveaway of giveaways. I got a big obligation to make sure this box is full of stuff by all you subscribers. Super Chat isn't active, but you can direct support at paypal.me/UltraMaximus if you're feeling frisky. And don't forget to tune into the next episode of The Secret Variant, the finest FOC programming on all of YouTube. And then, of course, subscribe to all the wonderful content that I share in my feature channel section. And even though Mighty Mel V himself might be on a little bit of a hiatus, go check him out at comicsheatumup.com. And, of course, Friday nights are still going to be on. Drunken Chat will still go down. I am the Ultra Maximus, and follows are always appreciated, whether it be on Facebook, IG, or Twitter. You can follow me on all of those links on the channel homepage here from YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube right now and you're finding this video somehow, some way, somebody clipped my stuff and sent it to you, you can find the ULTRA MAXIMUS on IG. But they're probably going to edit that out. And then the X Ultra Maximus X over there at Twitter. And follow on Whatnot, Ultra Maximus as well. And Whatnot is the app you need to download in order to catch my sale that's possibly going to be this weekend. Wonder Woman and John Kent books. And when I say Wonder Woman, I mean Hughes and Frisian. WanderComics.com is also one of the finest comic stores on the planet. And if you don't know about Drew and all the good stuff that he does, just one of the most honest, transparent sellers out there. And this is the reason why I am comfortable with putting his name on my podcast. Drew's also a really good dude, taking care of me a lot of good times. And for that, I am very appreciative because I got a lot of really good books in my collection from him over the last, decade or so. ComicBarricade.com also helps keep your comic books upright in your comic boxes. And if you like me, you can use the code ULTRA, get yourself 10% off. Herd S. Eric is a follow you need to request on IG. Because he does awesome logo work, like that wonderful Ultra Maximus logo. And, of course, the soundtrack you're listening to, provided by our friends at White Bat Audio. This is your Raw Report for 9/7/2022. And what does that mean? Well, new pickups and mail drops, you say? Oh, this is going to be sick. I don't know, maybe. Some of the stuff I might be buying, a lot of you guys might consider to be cheese. But it is what it is. I buy what I like. I try not to tell you to buy what I like, but sometimes you guys are like, hey, I like that too. And I really appreciate the love that you guys do consider on sending my way when that does happen. Because, it makes me feel good to know that I'm not crazy, right? But thank you guys for joining me here in the live stream. Again, it's 11:55 a.m. This is your Morning Maxidus edition, where I'm going to show you guys a couple of the cool things I got in the mail. We're going to start off with King of the Golden State. I don't know where you're at, buddy, but got this Adam Hughes Witchblade. Hey, let's actually do this. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself here. There we go. Adam Hughes Witchblade. Very interesting cover, right? And then when he was having his sale go down, he also had a Jeff Scott Campbell Hero Comics 2012 edition. So make sure I picked that one up. And then these are the books I had to order from outside of my LCS. So I got a nice little shipment here, made sure it was all worthwhile, right? You gotta make sure that when you are ordering, you're like, oh man, I gotta pad the order. So As you guys might know, I'm a little bit of an X-Men fan, and this right here is one of the rare stories where we get to see Wolverine in his pre-accidental design mask. So the accidental design mask that happens on Giant Size X-Men #1 was actually just an error, and then they ran with it. Did you know that? I don't think you knew that. So Wolverine fighting the Hulk, of course, this takes place during the 181, 182, 180, 181, 182 story. So yeah, not a bad place to be. Before Giant Size X-Men #1, apparently this shows that Wolverine joined a different X-Men team other than the Giant Size X-Men. So this is wild. One of those things. Torrin Clark. You might recognize the name. He's an up-and-coming artist. And Torrin Clark doing these X-Men Red variants. This is one of those set collections that I'm putting together for myself, you know. Some might say I have a specific taste when it comes to certain books. Has to be certain titles, has to hit all those things. Yo, Daytime Live, that's right, man. And it's a Raw report, so there's no other way of describing this than just absolute fun, right? So, yeah, on the same order, I had to make sure that I added a couple extra books, and one of them that I was like, oh, you know what? I don't have one of these yet. I may or may not be starting to put this set together after I got the Grail of Grails for that X-Men action figure set. And right now, if you're watching the Raw report, the last episode of the Raw report that I did back on 7/20, I showed you which action figure variant that one is, and if you don't want to go back and watch it, I can't say I blame you. I'm not going to make you do that. It's actually the Chris Claremont Paragon variant for the Dark Phoenix action figure variant. The only way to get that was to order one of the 2180 Chris Claremont Paragon collection editions, and it had the additional comics that were offered in that set. But that's the only way to get it. Good luck. So, this book, the Del Mundo, was apparently given notice that a lot of people were short-ordered, and I ordered 2 copies online just in case, but I love Del Mundo's art. And this book right here was one of those that I decided to double up on. So we'll see where that other copy winds up. You guys been keeping track of the extra copies I show in here? Because some of them might be going someplace, sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Now, Art Adams, as you know, has a specific style of doing books. And every now and then, a beautiful gem pops up, and you're just like, yeah, you know, let me snag that. I gotta find an appropriate Jean Grey Art Adams to pair this one with. I might have a few. Scott Summers really is the best tactician on the planet to figure out how to, to land both of that and not die. Okay, because first off, I'm married to a redhead, and if any of my fellow watchers also have a redheaded counterpart in their life, they know it's like literally grabbing onto the sun and holding on. So, got to give a shout out to Bird City, Laura, because she gave me a shout out when I showed that this was an artist first. So this is one of those things that, again, like now, in the game of Comic Spec, you guys know how it is. It's really, really tough because everybody has got that instant gratification, instant information. But what I notice, and one of my opinions, is that there's a lot of hype that comes to a lot of books out the gate and then afterwards, right? So one of those things that I think is probably one of the safer bets, if you are trying to park money that you have extra that is not going to hurt you, and you can wait for that long-term flip. Larry Joe, I agree with you there. I did not like the Hellfire 1 in 25, even though it's good. I just didn't like it as much. But that one right there, that was an open order. I was like, what? you know, we know that Marvel editorial doesn't think like us. Because if they did, they'd have better arrangements. But Jimbo Box, you guys might have remembered me talking about this one. This is another one that Ninth Wonder also talked about, Mighty Mel V talked about. So this right here is Jimbo Box's first comic book artwork. This again is the Harley Quinn incentive cover for issue number 19. The buy-in is still pretty cheap on a lot of these. It's kind of going under the radar, but again, go look at Jimbo Box's website and look at all of the. It's got all the same ingredients that Sozo Micah had before she really took off, and the fact that this guy's got his first cover over here on a DC book. This is also a DC book that once people saw, it was not one of the, you know, the newer premier artists like Sozo. You know, it's one of those things that kind of got stepped on, right? Like, in my opinion, I think like a lot of people dropped orders because they're like, oh, it's not really a variant I'm interested in. Who's this guy, Jimbo Box? I don't know who that is. And that sometimes is like the perfect storm. Because as we know, there's a lot of times where things that don't get ordered all of a sudden become popular, and then all of a sudden become valuable, and all of a sudden become chasing. So that's going to be it for the pickups portion. But you guys know I got more. Always got more. So yeah, you know, I was grabbing them under ratio as well. I don't know if they're over ratio yet, though, Larry Joe. If they are over ratio now, this is probably a good sign that it's one of those steady progressions. Just a nice, slow, you know, just give me a nice slow climb. Don't give me a book selling for $30 and then has a buy it now for $65 because somebody's trying to set the market really, really high, and then has auctions ending at $25. That's what happens. All right, so we're on to the new pickups, and these are basically the new pickups and books that I will be able to find like in back issue bins on my new pickup days. So like, there's going to be a couple books in here that basically I just did not even want to you know, find new books, and I found a couple of back issue books. Just because back issue books sometimes help fill in the gaps, right? You got a slow week and you're like, whatever. But you guys are probably going to like this set of books a lot more, I'm thinking. Let's see. Okay. This is today's books, so let me pull them up first. So we'll take a look at the books I got today. I didn't buy very much today. Very small, very slow week for me. But I definitely started out with Survival Street number 2. And I was very, very gracious of the local comic shop for helping me locate one of only 3 of these B covers. So, not very big on orders. I mean, and I did not FOC it with them, so they actually had to go and find. Like, they sometimes will put an extra book in people's boxes, and this is one of those books that they dropped in an extra box. And had to trade them out an A cover for it. But, you know, I found an A cover on the shelf, and they were like, oh yeah, thanks, okay, good. So everybody was covered. Now, just moving forward with a good variant cover, but also one that has a Gabby-centric story to it. But it involves Dakin and Warpath actually getting into it and fighting each other. And, you know, they go looking for Gabby, basically. And this is the variant cover for the New Mutants number 29 that was just out today as well. I don't remember if this came out this week or last week, but I picked it up today. I think it's this week. So this is Moon Knight number 15. Have yet to read it. Now, they tried sliding in the regular cover into my box and said, hey, here's an extra book, but you always get the action figure variant. And of course, I always get the action figure variant. So the action figure variant is what came home with me today. for Star Wars number 27. And I think it's Star Wars number 28 for the John Tyler exclusive. Is that right? Can't remember. I think it's 28. So next issue, we'll find out who the secret action figure variant was that we weren't disclosed. And then the final book that I picked up off the shelf today, because I went looking for, they did have a Choose Your Destiny variant, Star Wars variant for me. Unpressable. But Jeff Scott Campbell open order variant for the new Avengers All Out, I believe it is. I believe that's the title. Yeah, All Out Avengers, correct. So, but it's an Ant-Man by Campbell. And this is the one that they did a 1 in 100 and a 1 in 200 incentive variant for. So some of you guys might be lucky enough to find the Virgin variants for these things and get them for a good price. And if you do, fantastic. Fantastic. Because those are high ratios, right? Okay, now, yeah, some of these still got prices on. I didn't even Mylar some of these books yet, which was really funny. So these are last week's pickups, and then we'll get into the older ones beyond this one. So let's start this one off with Betsy Cola. You guys know about Betsy Cola? So this is a book that I talked about briefly, and how it might appear that it has color rub on it, but that is not color rub. That is intentionally in the art. It happens. So let's see here. Let me put these in a good order. Dun, dun, dun. The other Betsy Cola pickup, of course, was this one right here. So this is the Variants, which is the new Jessica Jones story, basically. And it's basically dealing with Jessica Jones and all the other universe versions of herself. You know, there's going to be a time when everybody's going to look back and they're going to call this the multiverse age. And then it's going to go away. It's going to be one single universe for each Marvel and DC. And yeah, you can write Elseworld stories and stuff like that still, like separately, like Black Label's doing. But we won't worry about all this convoluted universe stuff. Oh, it's me. Like all right. Like, let's admit it. Let's admit it. The first time this happened was after Days Future Past, and Phoenix, aka Rachel Summers, the daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey from the future, that got erased, came back in time in X-Men. That was the first time. It was kind of like, oh, it's kind of crazy. But I am, of course, chasing all of these Choose Your Destiny variants, which are the lightsaber hilts, which is pretty cool. If you really are into the Star Wars lore, you know that everybody's hilt is like got a little bit of difference to it. And it's like the prop maker, you know, Ewan McGregor, got to pick his lightsaber, which was pretty cool, right? So as you guys know, I'm also a big fan of the Liefeld, and despite where you fall on the spectrum of his artwork appreciation, and look, I can understand. I look like Garrison Kane, you know, I'm kind of the thick boy, and you know, my hairline's kind of going. So Liefeld, grow a beard on Garrison Kane so I can get a movie gig, huh? I'd appreciate that. But Garrison Kane, Cybernetic Warrior, the battle between him and Wade in X-Force number 2, I'm very, 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 very happy that Bad Blood was done. And everybody's going to be like, what's Bad Blood? Well, that's the 4-issue miniseries that was previously released as a graphic novel years ago that had added material done into a 4-issue miniseries. If you're a Deadpool fan, you love Liefeld drawn Deadpool probably. If you're a real Deadpool fan and you don't like Liefeld, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I love when the creator of a character gets to draw their character long after they've left working on that character. So it's kind of like a revisit. And boy, is my CPU okay? It looked like my video was getting a little choppy there for a second. Okay, up next, before I continue to blabber on. This right here, Jim Lee and Ryan Sook, basically the Jim Lee art reused with Ryan Sook over top of it, just making it one of those good variant covers. I tried to pick a nice high-grade copy for slabbing. This, of course, Russell Dauterman doing the Magic variant for these trading cards. Phenomenal. And I know it's like an ongoing thing now because they've been doing them since issue number 1. The Jim Lee X-Men cards, that's the real reason why they keep on putting these variants out there, is because they want you to buy that hardcover. And the Jim Lee X-Men cards are doing well in the aftermarket. But here we go. Gambit number 2's Russell Dauterman. Right? Not bad, not bad. Okay. So this was a really, really interesting book to see on FOC, especially because of the cover, because Craven is wearing Beast for a skin, and he's got Deadpool's head on a pike. And he makes it to Krakoa. So there's a lot going on here, and Craven just being Craven. Knights of X number 5. Right? That would be wicked. Knights of X number 5, and this is your Betsy Braddock sitting on the throne. Saturnine by her side. What's going on there? I haven't read that one yet. Now, this is variant, and oof. Okay, I'll show you this one first. So, Rick and Morty season 4, or I'm sorry, season 6. Yeah, it's like season 6 now. The new season just is coming on Adult Swim. They also just hit 100 issues. So it's safe to say that this is a pretty good property, pretty popular, right? How about Rick and Morty number 1, only 25th anniversary silver foil edition? This is one of those sneaky FOC books that they snuck in there. And they just kind of slid in, and then, like, if you were watching the Secret variant, I might have told you about this one. If you didn't watch my FOC show, this is one of those reprints that kind of appeared on FOC, and then I think they took off and pushed back, and like it moved around a little bit. Anytime FOC moves for a book, it either means that the orders are really, really low, and they're trying to get orders up to make it worth printing. So, oh yeah, you are correct. We are Venom. The page punchers for Batman 608. And they're like 10, it's like less than $10 too. It's a sick buy. Okay. I might be a little bit. Yes, that Rick and Morty was open order. But it's a $9.99 cover price, I think, Larry Joe. $9.99, I think, is what they charged me. So I know they're on eBay right now for, I think, like 15 to 20. But yeah, it was an open order, but I don't know. I don't know what lunar distribution might have made stores go through as far as hoops in order to get that. But again, I might be a little bit of a Transformers fan, just a little bit, right? These guys right here. And this comic book right here above my shoulder is Transformers Shattered Glass number 2. Well, here is Transformers Shattered Glass 2 number 1. So this is volume 2, and apparently Ultra Magnus, not to be confused with Ultra Maximus, is using a hologram because he's a pretender. And he also kicks the crap out of Evil Optimus Prime. Sorry, Orion Pax. He's still Orion Pax, which is crazy, right? Now, this book apparently made the Hot 10 list, and this is the Cradle of Filth, but it's polybag. So I can't see the filth that lies within. But this is the Castlevania swipe, right? And then, of course, you guys know. I mean, Frazetta, Death Dealer, 5-copy incentive. and it's a Sega Genesis game. All about that life. I am all about that life. Let's organize this pile. Get them two stacked up. Oh yeah. Now we got the goods. So we got an eco-terrorist book dream, right here. So this is your X-Men Green, X-Men Unlimited, that is. And X-Men Unlimited is coming back with issue 100, I think they said it was. Now, continuing on the trend, but this one's weird because it's a High Republic character. But this is your Choose Your Destiny variant for Keeve Trennis. And then I had to pick this one up just because Mighty Mel V, you know, every now and then I like to be reminded that Mel has really, really good taste in certain books, and he's like, yo, this cover. So this is one I didn't pass up. It was definitely the best of the bunch, I think. But Moon Girl, man, I tell you, Mel has been the reason why there's a lot of people on the Moon Girl train. But Mel also knows that when he stopped talking about it, he knew the train died down to only dead hardcore followers of the book. Issue 27 had that first appearance in it, and because it was so low ordered, that book is kind of, you know, still does a little bit, right? But you get later in the run, and I tell you, the last 20 issues of Moon Girl, you just see everything going down. And it's like, wow, man. Yeah, so We Are Venom. I actually was able to put together the complete art retail exclusive set of the first round of Shattered Glass. There will be another series going along with this mini, and then IDW loses the license. So good luck. But another one of these Choose Your Destiny variants. Kit Fisto. Not to be confused with Fisto from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And I gotta say, this was an awesome thing. This next book that I'm holding in my hand. I walked into a store a week after release. It was on the shelf, and I got it for cover price, where I held off on buying it elsewhere for 30 plus bucks. So this is one of those wins that, you know, every now and then a dog's ass gets sun shining on it, right? Well, that was the day I walked into this store, and I was able to nab this Avengers 1 million BC, the 25 copy incentive. $4.99. Darth Sidious. So Darth Vader, Choose Your Destiny variant with Darth Sidious and his wonderful red lightsaber. This looks pretty cool. And then Dr. Afro 23's Darth Maul. Okay. They had all these Harley covers that were homages. They had the old Batgirl introductory homage, right? Like Batman #1 homage. But there was only 2 of them that I picked up. I showed you the Ryan Sook one with Jim Lee, right? This, however, I think is the hit. I think those are the 2 best ones so far. I don't know what else DC's got up their sleeve. They might actually pop in something good, right? You never know. Never know. Wernick. Ladies of Axe Judgment Day variant for Jean Grey. And then this interesting book, which actually features the first appearance of the Phoenix, Galactus' mom. She says, "I am Phoenix" on the last page. It's pretty awesome. People are going to try to say it's a cameo, but nope, it's fully there, and she speaks. Now, you guys know we are a fan of Maria Wolf. over at the Drunken Chat family, and some of her artwork is absolutely fire. This Carnage does not need to be excluded from that fire list. It needs to be included. It's good. This is a book I got jumped off of and I jumped back in, but it's out there, man. But basically, the Lady in Red. The Lady in Red is a very, 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 very bad individual. Figure drawing gets it. So Star Wars number 26, Plo Koon variant for his Choose Your Destiny. And then Star Wars number 26 with Ewan McGregor. And it appears I may have doubled up on that one. And I bet you there's another Ewan somewhere in that stack that got lost. Alright, so House of X Chapter 4 of X-Men 92, House of X Chapter 2. It's a very weird story, man, because they're like taking elements of House of X and applying it to X-Men the cartoon. It's a very, very weird mashup. And then the other variant for X-Force number 30, which shows a very joyous, battle going on here between Wolverine, Deadpool, Kraven, and Beast looks a little bit, he's a little incapacitated. Oh boy, I got a Scam Likely calling me. Go away, Scam Likely. Oh, there it is. There is the other Obi-Wan Padawan variant for Star Wars 26. And then here, remember how we were talking about earlier? Oh man, it would really be nice to have an Art Adams variant to pair with that Emma Frost. Oh, looky, what have we here? This is the X-Men number 13 Art Adams Dark Phoenix variant. Hold on one second. Hello? Stop calling me. I muted the wrong side, so you guys heard that shit. So that was some solar company that has been blowing me up. Blowing me up. I'm about to actually, probably retain it. There we go. Anyway, so I forgot to, I thought I hit mute, but I muted the desktop audio. Annoying people. Yeah, and I dumped the call once, and they called me right back. So, next book up. Don't you guys love it when a 1 in 50 has the first appearance of a character on it and not on any of the other covers, even though there's a higher ratio incentive? Like maybe a 1 in 100, maybe also a 1 in 200. But it's the caveat of that other artwork also being available on open orders. What does that do for a first appearance, would you say? Oh yeah, Brad, that's where I'm at, man, and that's who these people are. I'm about to call them back and get real lit with them after this podcast. So what I'm talking about here actually happens to be a Legacy number 417, but it's a variant edition, and it's a 1 in 50 of the first appearance of a new version of an old favorite. You might have heard me talk about this one before, and I can almost palm like Carter can, but not quite. So, this is Strange number 1, the 50 copy incentive. And this 50 copy incentive variant right here does have the first appearance of Strange as the Huntsman in his new format. Because Clea is the new Strange, as you know. But I foresee that book switching their roles. I think Clea is going to be the new Huntsman of Death. And it's going to go the other way around. Now, Crystal Planet, anybody? Anybody? You love a good homage, and I love a good Opus book. So, of course, that was one that I did not let get by me. And then, of course, also the Asajj Ventress. Hey, man, no problem, Larry Joe. Thanks for stopping by. I'm probably going to have to get through this stack a little quicker. I got to go pick up the kid from school soon. But Asajj Ventress right here, right? This is on your Dr. Aphra 22. That's another one of those Choose Your Destiny variants. Crystal Planet. Satriani's doing the 10 copy incentive. So if you're a fan of his crazy art. Okay. This is probably one of my favorites of the Hellfire Gala. Of which AA book? Which Art Adams book? You have to let me know which book you're talking about right there. We Are Venom. I'll let you know. But New Mutants number 27. Russell Dauterman doing a Hellfire Gala variant for Magic. Full-on Demon Child, right? Like, that's pretty fire, right? So I thought that was like one of the better ones. Now, this is a popular pose that's been done before on X-Men books before, but if it works, it works. House of X-92, Chapter 3. Or, sorry, Chapter 2, Issue 3. Continuing on with the Immortal X-Men variant sets. You got to remember, these Phil Noto books are probably not being very heavily ordered. Unfortunately, I had one that was a little bit color rubbed today, so I did not pick up Immortal X-Men number 6 yet. And then, of course, Iron Man stealth suit cover, and I know this is going to be kind of hard to see because it's black, and I got that Mylar on it, so you're going to get nothing but reflection. But man, this is one of those covers that if you found one in a 9.8, absolutely, absolutely. And then let's see here. So I'm going to go in a little bit of a funny order here. So I went back issue bin diving, and this is, I think, one of the few back issue books I found. But Jim Lee Polaris. It was right around the same time I had that action figure Polaris coming, and this is one of the Jim Lee variants that I did not buy originally because it's on Venom 152. It's not even an X-Men book, you know? But I used to love this version of Polaris when X-Factor, her and Havoc, you know. And then let's see here. We've got Third Sister Riva on the Bounty Hunters variant. And then we've got a couple of really cool books here. So the Black Panther number 8 Legacy variant, right? And then, if you saw Survival Street number 2 earlier, you knew I was probably getting both of these for issue number 1. And then the final book. I went back issue bin diving for it on this Raw Report today. I can't believe this was still there. I can't believe I was able to get it for what I got it for. Plus, I was able to get a discount on it because my store loves me. Can't help it sometimes. But when we're in the world of video game variants, in a world of us video game nerds getting a little bit older, sometimes we get a little bit of nostalgia. And this right here, Super Mario Brothers variant, was left by me on release day at the store. I was like, you know what? I'll come back for it later. That book popped off so much that I don't know what happened to it. I thought they sold them all. But then, lo and behold, of course, Ultra does a little bit of back issue bin diving. Sees it there. Sees it still $19.99. Goes, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I was able to secure that one into the collection. It looks like a 9.8 candidate, so we'll see how it goes. Over on this side right here, draped in black, is the almighty Ultra Press-O-Matic. And we'll see what the Press-O-Matic has in store. I have some things in the works, and let's just say this. I have to leave now within 10 minutes to go pick up my son and get in line for school, because it's crazy like that. So my time on trying to do the presser on Wednesdays, it's hard. It's a lot of work to do. Even with the less amount of slides that I was doing, I wasn't doing every release, because a lot of that was copy from a secret variant episode, and I'd be able to translate if I could just find the right weeks, which still took a lot of time. But it's still like 6 to 8 hours of prep work to do like an hour show. Just being honest. You know, this is what I do here at this channel. So I appreciate all of the support you guys have given me. But right now, there is no presser tonight. I may go live somewhere else with some other people. We'll see how my schedule is. But yeah, you know, I got to hang out with my kid. Got to spend time with my kid, man. For all you guys who are parents out there, you guys get it. You understand. You know, this time I don't get back. But I'm very thankful to be able to operate out of my house, do this on YouTube, and just want to remind you guys, I got some things that I'll definitely be doing as far as selling soon. So I appreciate all the support when it comes to that, because as you guys know, I am going to pack books like a champ. I will make sure that that book can survive everything the mailman's going to throw at it, and if not, they're going to be insured for their value, and we make sure, you know, I make sure I take care of things. But that's basically what I got going on right now. I'm going to be spending the time that I would normally be using to prep for a show, and I will be prepping for my upcoming Whatnot sale. So probably follow me there is a good idea. I may do a simulcast off my YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't miss an episode of the Secret Variant, so this way your FOC is not catching that FOMO, right? And then let's see here. We got anybody in the live chat that really wants to, you know, bombard me with any questions? Now's the time. It's time for that Ask Maximus Anything. Before I close out the show, so hit me. What you got? I'm gonna finish this cup of coffee and then we're gonna sign off. But you guys are the best. I really appreciate you guys checking me out during the day on impromptu lives. You know, pickups sometimes can be a little bit like meh for some people, but I know you guys like to see what I'm getting into, because I generally try to stay, if somebody's doing other things, I like looking the other direction. Generally when there's hype in one spot, if it's not something I'm going to chase too, I'm looking for what's being missed. So Comics Man is asking a fire question. Who's the best cover artist this year? Bro, I don't know. Year's not over. We got 3 more months, man. 3 more months. So we'll see. But that may be something that we have to look at. Best new cover artist who didn't have artwork drop before this year, or just best new artist being introduced so far. Like, there's a couple of new artists that had like their first covers this year, right? Levels. Man, I don't know. There's a lot of good art, and you know, I feel like the art game is being pushed, and people are requiring to step up their game. They're like, look at what I have to compete with at like, dude, at conventions. Like, even the artists selling their own books are like, I got to step up my game. I got to produce a better product than the big 3 publishers, the big 5 publishers if you count like Boom and IDW and Image and some of the other ones. So, you know, it's like, what do you have to offer artistically that's going to make one of the big guys pick you up, is basically what I see all of these artists doing now. So, man, that's a tough one to answer. But I will say this: if you saw somebody who dropped a first artwork this year, probably a good idea to pick it up, especially if you pick it up on the cheap. Like that Jimbo box is a good example. I don't think he's the best artist dropping this year, but man, I don't know. Best cover artist this year? Some people have had some pretty good years, man. There's been some fire books. Nakayama's had a fire year. Kyle News had a fire year. Hughes always has a fire year. But I mean, like the big names. You know what, man? If you want to work on a list, I think you should do that for Drunken Chat on who you think the most fire artists of the last year have been, even if they've already been out for years. You know what I mean? And just call it the list, man. All right. Anybody else got something? Or man, you got something else? There you go. See? I make good people famous, not stupid people. Yeah, you know, I looked at that Catwoman he had out today too. We are about him since I'm not going to do a presser. That probably would have been an honorable mention. That 1 in 25. Is a good one. But I forget what Batman book that was for. It wasn't for a regular Bat title. Yeah, I mean, Sozo's been on fire. The 2 Catwoman covers she did with Harley alone, fire. You know, on top of all the other ones that she did. But you know how it is, man. People looking for that next one. Besh, for me, Besh has not always been one of my favorites. Like, she's got like a couple of good covers that I'm like, yeah. The last FOC that I did a mark on Twitter or on IG for, where I used her artwork, that's a Besh cover that I'm like, yeah. Sheena the She-Devil, Sheena Queen of the Jungle. But you guys aren't hitting me with any hard spec questions, so maybe we'll try an open mic Maximus Open Forum. I'm more Don than Art Germ, but you know, Art Germ every now and then does fire for me. There's a couple of Art Germ books I want, high ratio incentives, but they're yeah, X-Men #1 from the reboot after House of X, Powers of X. The one Jean Grey walking through the Krakoa portal. If I didn't see that design, or like, I see that face in her so often. All right, I gotta go, guys. My wife's calling.